Caution, speed bump.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching. My name is Yadira. If you are new, welcome. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. Today I wanted to talk about this right here. This is a dream bag of mine and I recently unboxed it in my last video, but I wanted to get my husband's feedback on this bag before I made any further decision on the actual item. So this, if you didn't get to see, this is from Fashionphile and it is the Louis Vuitton Capucines in the PM size black color with the gold crown detail at the top. Super gorgeous, very feminine, very glam, very glitz, very special, but also very, I don't want to say subtle because there's still gold detail around. It's a little peak of something on the bag while still being somewhat reserved, right? Well, this bag, while I've been wanting it for so long, so many years, I found a great deal on it on Fashionphile. This bag in particular was listed on their website for $4,900 and after taxes I spent $5,300 and some change to get this bag. This bag was rated excellent condition and all the photos look fantastic and the description was pretty good and it kind of like matched the pictures, like the photos. I judge a Fashionphile posting based on the photos. I do look into the details, into the description, and also like the rating or the condition to help me make my decision on whether or not I want to purchase something from Fashionphile or not. But the key driver to me hitting add to bag and going through the checkout process is gonna be the photos. And if you are a Fashionphile shopper, it probably is the same case for you, right? Now, with this bag, it was rated excellent condition. It only said that it had plating wear, which I did see that. It is at the bottom and that is true. I'm hoping you can see that. And I'm just gonna put right here on the side what it is that it was advertised on this particular bag. And so whenever I unboxed it, everything seemed fine. It was perfect, it was beautiful, and I loved it and I was excited. And then I got into the inside of the bag. The inside of the bag comes with the strap, which fabulous that it does because it's a full set handbag that I was getting for a reasonable savings, or what I would consider significant savings, to be able to do that purchase through Fashionphile versus going straight to Louis Vuitton. The strap had initials on it. The actual clasp itself, it has tarnishing on it, which you can see it more on this side. Plating wear and tarnishing are two different things. Plating wear would be where the coating is being worn off, it is fading, it is diminishing, and it's showing the true color of the actual metal that is underneath it, which is something that is common for the feet, right? Tarnishing is whenever there is physical oxidation occurring, there is deep discoloration, the tones are dulling, they're like, I guess it's kind of like a rose. And when a rose is dying, it looks very wilted, right? That's what roses do. But that is the difference, in my opinion, between a tarnish and plating wear. On the actual description, it only said plating wear, which was, this is the only thing that I was perceiving whenever I was going through that, right? And that's something that's expected. It's at the bottom of the bag. The bottom of your bag gets the most wear when you're sitting it on places. You know, it's not always going to be on you. Even if you have it on some kind of shelf, if your shelf is not a smooth finish and every time you grab it, of course you want to lift it. You know, sometimes some things happen, or if there's something standing next to your handbag and that falls, causing your bag to move or shift over, like it's going to, all of that friction, it's gonna create some kind of change on the bottom of your bag, right? That is understandable. I 100% knew that that was a possibility with buying a pre-owned bag, but I was not prepared to buy something that was personalized or branded with someone else's initials on it. That was not on there, and that was the main thing that drew me from wanting to keep the bag. Now the bag itself, you don't have to use it with a strap. It's a bonus that the strap is included, at least for me, because I do love top handles, and that's primarily how I use bags that are top handled, is like this or like this, right? Whenever I put on the strap in the modeling shots, the initials are on the outside of the actual strap so that you can see it gets, meaning, you know, there's an inside and an outside of a strap. Even though it looks the same, there is one, like I'm going to show you on the side where it doesn't have an initial. This is the outside and this is the inside. How you can tell is the way the stitching is, and then the actual, you know, the actual finish enclosure of the actual strap. On here where the initials are, this is the back, and you can kind of see where the flap folds over, and it's sealed with the glazing, and I'm sure some kind of other like glue material outside of the actual stitching. And then this is the opposite end that is on the outside of the strap. While I can turn it, it's a strap. If you own a bag with the strap, especially that has this mechanism, you're probably going to put it on like this sometimes. You're probably going to put it on like this sometimes. Even if I use it on the reverse side, like that's something that I need to keep in mind with this particular bag. And am I comfortable with that? So I did think of going into Louis Vuitton to get, you know, some stamping on top of the initials, like 2 little hearts or something like that. But then the problem becomes whenever I fall out of love with the bag, me reselling it, I'm going to take a deeper hit than what the first person who sold it to Fashionphile did, because it's personalized. It's custom to someone that is not me or the next future buyer of the bag. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people will be comfortable with taking on that kind of item. And sure, there are Capucines out there that are sold just with the bag, with no dust bag, with no box, with no strap. I know that. But what I purchased is a full set. Again, I know it wasn't fresh out of the oven yesterday, but based on the description, based on the photos, based on, you know, initial reactions of the bag, I didn't get what I bought, if that makes any sense. Whenever I did the unboxing of the bag, I was sad. I am not gonna lie. I was deceived. I felt like, wow, like it's my fault because I did a payment plan on the bag, and at the time that I bought the bag, I could have done it full price right out, got it in, shipped the next day, and possibly even delivered, you know, 2-3 days after buying it. I didn't do that because I looked at the estimated shipping days, and we had a weekend full of things to do, so I thought it was gonna be delivered at a time where I wasn't gonna be home. And this particular package said it was, you know, signature required, and actually whenever I did get it, I didn't sign for it, like they just delivered it. But anyways, I run that possibility of it being sent back or, you know, held for a couple of days until they can catch me the next time, and that's something I didn't want to do. And with Fashionphile, if you see something that your heart sings for, you are 100% willing to purchase, it's a ticking time bomb. And if you don't do it right then and there, someone might snag it. You know, that's the thing with pre-loved. This bag I had been hunting for such a long time. I have seen so many different of its kind go in the website, be sold. The reason why I haven't purchased it before was because, you know, the condition and the rating. And the reason why I haven't purchased it from the actual store is because I know you take a great 30 to 40% hit basically as you walk out of the store buying it. This bag retails for $7,700 US, and so that after taxes for me would be just under $8,500 for the Capucines bag from Louis Vuitton, which to me, that needs to be a very special moment for me to be purchasing this bag because it is very expensive. Needless to say, it's a purchase that I really need to think about and be 100% happy with before actually doing it. And now, yes, I can buy it from the store, from Louis Vuitton, but you have those 2 weeks to say if you want it or if you want a full refund. That is a plus, but it's interesting because whenever you buy something that you really wanted, 2 weeks, in my opinion, is not enough time to decide against it. You know what I mean? Especially because this kind of items, if I was to have done that route, returning the item, they want it to be in brand new condition. So how many times can I actually wear it and get the feel and test on whether or not I want it in those 2 weeks? And then plus me just having the time to go back to the store in general, all of that plays into consideration, and I think about everything probably more than I have to. But anyways, I had left it on the counter, waited for my husband to get home, and the way I packaged the bag was I actually just put the air paper back in there and I closed the bag like this. I put the strap on the hooks and I put it inside of the dust bag right next to the box, and I waited for my husband. That's his impression of the bag. Just walking up to the bag, opening the drawstring, and the first thing he said, kid you not, he said, I mean, I don't even think I can say the next words, but WTF is RG. I'm like, I have no idea, but I like the bag. The bag is beautiful. It looks very nice. And him just looking at it like this, and he's holding the strap, right? Pretend this is him. He was going through the bag because he also needs to do his little inspection. And then he's like, what is this? You do this, right? It is slightly cracking, and all the other ones, even if I do that, like it doesn't happen. Like this is a smaller, tighter pocket, so you can't expand it as much as this one, right? You can't really see that there. And then if I flip it over, these other ones are fine in my opinion, and that one's fine. But or this one has a little bit, like very, very early signs of cracking, but this one basically it's already there, and it can only just go south from here, right? Once you start seeing the actual lines on there, they're probably gonna grow, especially because I do intend to use the bag, or I intended to use the bag. He's like, so what are you gonna do? And I said, well, I can go into Louis Vuitton and maybe buy a whole new strap or cover up the initials and keep bumping. Then he's like, it's tarnishing. I'm not even sure that Louis Vuitton is going to sell me this strap because I don't have this bag or a black bag with the strap on my profile to go in and buy a replacement strap, and they don't necessarily sell this particular strap on its own. This one is, you know, like a special, maybe not special, but a Torion leather strap that has the different buckle right there, right? They can't just give you, you know, like a Pochette Métis black leather strap because it's not the same texture of the grain, it's not the same, you know, hardware, like I said. So then he's like, okay, well, best case scenario, they do sell it to you. About how much are you looking at? I'm like, well, I don't know, possibly $700-800, maybe $900, including tax, because this is a more premium leather for Louis Vuitton. I'm like, I'm not 100% positive, but I just know it's gonna be even more than your Empreinte style of, you know, repair piece. And then he's like, okay, if you take it in to get the glazing redone, what are they going to charge you? I said, again, most of my collection consists of canvas, and I do have some empreintes. I have only sent one piece into repair, and that was a Neverfull. I didn't send it in for glazing things, so I don't even know what the glazing prices look like. I'm pretty sure it might not just be a flat glazing fee number for whatever you're trying to glaze. Pretty sure the type of item you're going to put it on and the actual material it's going to go on plays a factor on whatever that repair cost is going to be. So I said, let's just say for that small piece, which I'm not even sure they can do one side, if I ask for a glazing to be redone, they probably would do all the glazing on the whole bag. I don't know, but if they can do that piece, I'm saying it's probably going to be about $250-400. I don't know. So he's like, okay, at the bad end of these prices, you are $1,300 in on top of what you already paid for this bag. You are this close to actually just buying it from the store, getting it full price, brand new. And he got after me. He's like, hey, we saw this bag in Italy and you could have saved money. You could have had a brand new bag. That is true, but whatever I paid on Fashionphile is still a little bit cheaper by about $500 after conversion of whatever I would have spent back over there. But again, it would have been brand new. I would have done all the nicks and dents and scratches and everything on my timetable. So yeah, lesson learned. He's like, you know what, try to return the bag or just call and see what they can offer you or what, because this is their mistake. And I said, well, because I did the payment plan, and even though I paid it, you know, very quick, I didn't even go through the 60 days. I'm like, there's gonna be a restocking fee, and then I have to pay, I think it's like $14.99, $15 to ship it back. And then he's like, BS, like this was not your fault. Have the initials had been disclosed on the posting, he said, I am sure that you would have waited for a different bag to come in. And that is accurate. So I called him today. It took me forever to get a hold of somebody. I had called once. I was on hold for 11 minutes. Actually, I didn't even speak to anyone and I had to hang up. Then I called back. I was on hold for about 22 minutes before I actually reached someone. I waited for such a long time and I contemplated. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can just email them and just wait. But I'm like, okay, there's only a certain amount of days that I have to be able to send this back to them. What if they answer the email in like 2 or 3 days from now? Like that is time eating into my return period or my exchange period or whatever. So I just waited. At the end, It says that I was on the phone for 34 minutes. That is a majority of it waiting. But I spoke to the most sweetest agent on the phone I think I could possibly ever ask for. She's like, hey, this is so-and-so. What is your name and how can I help you? And I was like, well, my name is Yadira and I actually received this item. And I don't believe that it is exactly what I had purchased. It has more wear and it has more detail than what was disclosed on both the actual detail section and on the photos. So then she was like, oh, I'm sorry that your item arrived in not the condition that you thought it would, right? I just want to know if you guys can waive that restocking fee. Can I get a full refund, or what can you offer me? That is what I asked. She said, you know, what is your order number? So I gave it to her and then she's like, yep, I do see it was a payment plan. So let me go ahead and put in the notes. Exactly what you're telling me is flawed with the bag and what you are requesting. So she put in that I was requesting to waive the restocking fee and to get my shipping costs refunded to me. So that $14.99 that I'm gonna have to pay to send it their way for them to inspect it. So she said, basically what they're gonna do is look through the item, compare the notes that I'm adding in and see if whatever you're saying is matching whatever they see on the actual item. If it doesn't match, we will charge you the restocking fee. And I said, well, if you don't believe that it matches, can I just take the bag back? Because I've had it for 48 hours and for me to take a hit that big, I'm like, that's pretty major for 48 hours. So she's like, okay, I understand that. Like, if that is what actually ends up happening, we can send the item back to you free. And I said, okay, good. Because if that happens, my plan is to take it into repair at Louis Vuitton and spend more money. The cheapest thing for me to do is possibly just cover the actual initials and then just try to sell the bag again, or keep it and enjoy it and forget about the experience. I don't know. But then she's like, but if your claims match the item, whenever whoever is looking through it can agree with what you're saying, we will honor a full refund to you and we'll refund it to you in the original form of purchase. Yeah, so she didn't say nothing about store credit. She just said it was gonna go back into my debit card, but that they were gonna let me know about a week and a half, because obviously they need to look through, you know, all the consignment pieces, all the returns. Judging based on how long I was on hold, I can sense that they have a huge amount of traffic that just goes in and out through their facility. So I'm gonna be sending this bag back today. Okay, so this might be a little bit excessive, but I did print out pictures of exactly what it is that I found wrong with the bag. Okay, so here is the bag. And this is the corner of concern. Hopefully you can see it a little bit more on this lighting rather than having a ring light over me. And this is just me holding the bag. I'm not pressing it down. But if I was to, like, let's just say I'm opening the bag because I'm trying to get in there, it's probably going to be hard for me to show you. But like, if you were to be opening the bag, would it focus? You can definitely see it, and in person you can actually see like white under there. And if this wasn't a bag to where I wasn't really gonna open the back compartment, I guess I would be fine with it, because this is the whole way of how to access the bag. Yeah, I'm not quite sure that I want to see that every time. So there is that. And so I'm gonna open this so that I can put in the strap. I do have the paperwork that it came with. It is the textile lining card that says Vachetta on there, which this bag does not have Vachetta. And then the little card. So I am gonna put that back in there so I can leave the way it came. And so the infamous initials here, and then this sort of clasp right here, I'm surprised that it looks the way it does. It looks so much different than this one. So here is a dot right here. Now you can kind of see a little bit on the inside, and then some more tarnish right there. There's one like on the edge, and then this, wait, this is a little tarnish, but this right here, so it actually doesn't have much plating wear, only here where you can actually see silver. Other than that actual spot right there, there is tarnish right here, right here. So I'm just trying to point out the difference between plating and tarnish, just to kind of outline that the tarnish part was not disclosed. So yeah. The last thing I need is for them to be like, no, it didn't even come with the strap. So there we have it, and this is the order, and it actually matches like the little description thingy that I had shared earlier on the screen. And obviously I'm not gonna get to clip it because it's going back, so I'm gonna put this like on the little flap here just to kind of, I don't know, farewells on the shipping. And isn't she lovely? Like, wow, she's so pretty. My husband was like, well, can you get a Birkin instead? Because I've been talking about an actual Birkin. And I was like, well, yeah, I guess we can like look into it. But then he's like, does it have closures like this, or, you know, dividers like this? And it kind of does. I'll insert a picture, but he's like, oh wow, if that's gonna be happening for a bag that expensive, I don't think, I'm just like, you know what, sometimes you just have to live. This is my handbag loving side speaking, but yeah, he's totally right. Anyways, let's package this beauty up. I can't forget my evidence. I don't want to run the risk of having the inspector, whoever is going to receive this package, not see the details that whoever created the post didn't see. So I do have my little 3 pictures in there. With you know who. Just kidding. I am on my way to go drop off the oh so beautiful Capucines PM in black with the gold crown, our wish list item. I know that I said that I would rather take the bag back and deal with it at Louis Vuitton, but honestly I don't even know that I want to do all that, because I just feel like that's gonna be like a disappointment, or it's you know, repairs don't take 2-3 days. It's minimum 6 to 8 weeks. I definitely do want to get a Capucines. I just think they're very pretty. I like the silhouettes. I'm a fan of the fact that they came out with such a beautiful bag. We are officially Capucines less. I just dropped it off, and there was a UPS truck right outside the store loading up, so hopefully it's able to catch a ride. Even though that was like the Capucines that I wanted, like I'm pretty sure if I say one and done, that's probably a lie, just because, you know, you get your first and you like it and you want your second, right? I mean, people do it with Birkins, expensive things. Woo. So I mean, I'm sure that I would at some point in time want, oh, that truck just backed up so fast. I'm sure that at some point I would want like the next size down, just to kind of have that experience, or maybe get the next size up. They have it as a tote now, like that's new for 2024. If you had your ideal combination for a Capucines, what would it be? What size? What color? Is there texture, sequence, embroidery, crochet? What is it that is that special Capucines that you would love to have in your collection if you could? I'm honestly hoping that I do get a full refund, because this year I've been so focused on trying to get all of my wish list items, you know, like just check. But crazy girl. I hope that I do get a refund. That way I could just go get myself a Capucines from the Louis Vuitton store. There's a Capucines that I want to get. It's a limited edition. And I don't... Wait, are the stars aligning right now for that one? This bag, I seen Naomi Perez here on YouTube. She has a Capucines in the, I want to say she said it's a PM size. This is a Raffia Capucines with a beautiful brown leather handle and the flap and everything is, the outside itself is Raffia. I believe the inside is the leather. And also Dayle from Dayle's Addiction, she has a beautiful, I call it basket, I guess because like there's the picnic Birkin. I don't know why I call it basket. That's like the first thing that comes to my mind whenever I see hers. But she has this beautiful wicker Capucines in, it might be a PM size also. I'm not sure if it's a BB. I'm not sure on the size. Also in a brown. And this summer there is supposed to be a Capucines that comes out in, actually it's a few in the wicker style. But while it's not the Raffia that Naomi has, it's the beautiful wicker Capucines. Like, how perfect is that? It comes in like this sunshine sort of, I don't want to say sunshine yellow. Actually, that's probably why I'm saying sunshine, because there's a little bit of warmthness to the yellow. Doesn't that scream summer, vacation, going on a cruise? You know, everything that is associated to escaping and freeing your mind, having a great time. I love that. I think I'm going to start texting my CA about it. There's a beautiful BMW X7, X5, what are you? Let's see, let's go look at it. It's an X7, wow. It's beautiful. It's on a pearl color too. I'm gonna pick up dinner. I'm gonna get off, get some poke, and I then have to head over to the gas station because my car is telling me I need something to drink. So I'll be back. All right, we got the goods. Wasabi crispy sea snacks. I should have honestly picked up the other one that's not as spicy. I love to get poke whenever I'm just getting dinner for myself. This is what I get, and she hooked it up. I literally just told her I wanted to get the one that is called creamy sesame shrimp from their menu, and I got the little menu so I can give you the lowdown on what is in here. So I usually get something called Hula Hawaii. Whenever I was researching on like places to visit in Hawaii, people call it Hawaii instead of Hawaii. Hula Hawaii, that one. But this one is what they call their creamy sesame shrimp, and it has shrimp mixed with kale, spring mix, cucumber, corn, carrot, mango, pineapple, creamy sesame, umami shoyu, it's like the sauce, and then it has crab salad, daikon mango, onion crisp, garlic crisp, sesame, and nori on top, and then my shrimp is cooked. So yes, I am excited to try that one. It sounds so yummy. Like, they're a little bit of tropical, but a little bit of, you know, sauciness with that whole creamy shrimp stuff. So I'm excited for dinner. Off to the gas station and then back home. The way I am excited for poke right now, you have no idea. So I typically don't like to ask for sriracha because I have some here. So I might put some in here, just so it depends. I usually do it with my other bowl because that one's a little bit more like spiciness to it. Actually, I have the little menu. I don't think I told you what the other one has. The hula Hawaii is a spicy bowl that has salmon, ahi tuna, shrimp mixed with cucumber, carrot, onion, edamame, avocado, jalapeno, mango habanero sauce, ahi poke classic like dressing, green onions and the toppings, masago, crab salad, furry cake, and volcano flakes, which is basically like crushed hot Cheetos, I think. So it's a whole lot more spicy. But this one, I'm gonna try it out and see if I need to add any sriracha sauce or something, but it smells good. It kind of gives me like those barbecue sort of flavorings. Time to dig in. It is 7:30. A little late for dinner, but I was debating on whether or not to get a tea at the poke place, and I thought like it's a little bit late to do some kind of caffeinated drink. I'm looking at the peach Tranquility by Teavanna. That may make the cuts. I think that is caffeine free, so I think I might brew a little bit some of that and just wait until the Capucines makes it to its destination and see what happens. I am coming over to give you the resolution because I did hear back from Fashionphile. Just to recap, I received the bag on a Saturday afternoon. I called in Monday morning and I received the directions, and then I initiated the actual return that evening. I shipped out the bag, and on Thursday, 3 days later, I received an email from Fashionphile letting me know that my refund was on the way, and it did disclose that it would be a few days from whenever I would actually see the refund, and that is accurate. So that was on a Thursday. I didn't get the funds back into my bank account until Sunday, which is not a Fashionphile problem or thing, but I did want to note that just in case you are going through a similar process and you kind of want to know an ETA of what to expect. And I did get my full refund back. That includes taxes, and it was free shipping to get to me, but they didn't charge me to send it back to them. They also did not deduct a restocking fee, so like I said, I got my full refund back, and so I am $5,300 richer but bagless. Throughout this process, even like as soon as I received the bag, like I kept thinking that I was probably the one overreacting about my whole reason to return, and that it wasn't really going to get, you know, accepted, or I don't know, I was nervous about the whole process. I don't know if everything I did will work in your situation. Probably not. So I called them in the morning. On my return paper, I did put the reason, and then there was a slot for other. In there, I did detail exactly the flaws, and then I printed it. Right before packaging it, I decided to write a note, and this was based on that morning conversation I had with their customer care person. They told me they had wrote those notes in, so I was just kind of relaying it back. Hey, I did call you and you said you were gonna have this on file, but just in case you don't, this is exactly what took place today. I did also take photos, and I printed them with actual printing paper. So I didn't print them with my home printer. Like I went over to my CVS pharmacy, so I had my 4x6 photos. I took a few and I picked only 3, one for the initials, one for the glazing, and one for the tarnish, and that is what I put in my little return packet inside the box and shipped it over. But I did all of that because in my mind, someone already inspected the bag, and obviously this wasn't a problem for them to mention that whoever was going to receive my bag at the inspection center in the returns, I didn't want them to think the same, like, oh, it's not a big deal, the bag is great. So that's why I did all of that. And going forward, if I find a nice piece, a good piece, or something that just kind of like, it warms me up whenever I see it, and that's kind of weird to say because it's like a material item, but if it's something that really makes me happy and I decide to make a purchase, I think I will contact them first to kind of get more photos or more details on the item, just in case it turns out that it's a similar situation to where all the photos look fantastic and the description sounded great, but the physical item did not match. I think that's what I might do, kind of like a more personalized experience, and maybe, I don't know, make a friend at Fashionphile. Who knows? But that is my plan going forward. So I will still buy, just depends like how bad I want whatever is on there. And so the only thing I would say is going forward, I will try to just do the just, you know, buy it all full price. Don't do any payment plan sort of situation. And if you are thinking of buying something from them, I would say try to do the same if you can. If not, try to wait until you can actually buy the item, just in case when you physically get the item it's not to your liking, so that you won't have to pay a restocking fee. Obviously in my case it was a Fashionphile error. They're probably not as lenient in waiving a restocking fee with their returns the way they were with me, so just kind of FYI on that part. But so that's one of the lessons learned for me, because I was gambling with it was $490. I think that's what the 10% restocking fee would have been if they would have said no, we're not waiving the restocking fee. I mean, that's a lot for the 2 days, or yeah, it was actually 2 full days that I had the bag. That's a lot of money to lose. Like, dude, they must be balling. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Again, I hope that this was helpful in some way, shape, or form. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. I hope you'll subscribe if you're not already a part of my channel. And most importantly, I don't know how long this is or how well it's gonna look in editing, but I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.